Awesome. We've started recording. Whoop
Yeah.
whoop. Awesome. This is our
Woo!
first. Nava, welcome. This is actually our first ever episode of Indie Hour IST.
Let's go.
Let's go. We said we'd do this like 2 months ago, but of course, in the style of IST, we are always late.
Yep, of course. That's all
But
right.
yes, welcome to the show. My name is Angel Mary Joseph.
I am
Vinit Singh.
Vinit. G.
G?
Thank you. What?
Vinit
And I'm
G?
Vinny G.
Oh,
There
Vinit Soshi.
Vinit G?
G.
you
Ew.
go.
No. So not that.
And we have our amazing guest.
What's up? What's up? I'm Nava Drops. My whole name's Nava Barman, but my artist name is Nava Drops. Thanks for having me.
Of course, Nava Drops is a very cool name. Where did you get that from?
It's a name change. So I've been making like hip hop music and stuff for like 10-ish years. But I came up
Mm-hmm.
with my first stage name, Nava Drops Bars, when I was in high school. Or maybe freshman year of college. And I kept
Mm-hmm.
it. Nava Drops Bars with a Z. I think it's definitely a funny stage name, but I think as my music has matured this past year, I was like, okay, let's rebrand a little bit and just I've been making non-hip hop music, so that's why I dropped the bars and it's just Nava Drops.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I was
beautiful.
actually I was wondering because Nava means like new. I know
Yeah.
in like Hindi and definitely in like the language that where my parents are from, Maharashtra, in Marathi as well, Nava. So I was actually before I saw that your actual name was Nava or Nava. I was wondering like, is it like I was like, what is? I was trying to analyze it, like break it down, like so like Nava drops bar. So Nava drops. So it's like he's dropping new bars every like out of every time interval. So I was wondering like
I love
if there
that.
was like some pre-planning that went into that.
I did not plan it that way, but I love that analysis. We're gonna keep it that way. So I'm dropping something new like every year, so we'll keep it that
That's
way.
awesome. Love that for you,
That's
man.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Vineet did want to ask the age-old question that we have to
Yeah.
ask
So
every
so
Desi person.
yeah. What flavor of Indian are you?
What flavor? Oh, geez.
Flavor.
I'm the river fish fuchka flavor. Pani puri river fish. Lots of poetry in the family type of Indian.
Rabindranath Tagore style.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. My family's actually originally from Tripura, so northeast India.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I've gone to visit. Actually, is mainly Tripura, but a lot of family in Kolkata. We speak Bengali. We do the whole thing.
Ah,
Good
that's really
stuff. Yeah.
cool.
That is
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
I have to say,
Do you,
as a fellow stereotyped as fish-eating people, I respect that. I'm
Yeah.
Malayali, so I'm from
Of
Kerala. We're
course.
also coastal. So we also
Yeah.
get the all you eat is fish, right, thing. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yo.
Fish is good.
But people know. People joke, but it's 'cause that the fish that comes out of there that we cook is kind of next level. So,
It
and
is.
I've tried a lot of Malayali food recently. It's really nice. Yeah.
so
Thank
was your
you.
was your so did you say like was your family like your whole family or are they like very arts oriented as well? Do you think that's what kind of influenced you to like keep up with music and stuff like even throughout med school
Yeah.
or
Yeah, I think I don't know. I wouldn't say my family is like they do arts like they're not arts like oriented in their careers in the same way that I've like really just kind of embraced music and making it kind of like its own career in a way. But I think as I got older, I realized this Bengali culture is just steeped in art and music and dance. I think a lot of Indian cultures, but I just think like I don't know, like you mentioned, Rabindranath Tagore like is like a famous poet, and he wrote these songs. And growing up, like every Bengali household like listens to Rabindranath Tagore, and it's like as a child, like you just get exposed to that like all the time, and I like when Bengalis hang out, it's kind of funny, but it's very wholesome. Like they will just sit in a room and sing songs with each other and play like antakshari, which is like I don't know if that's across the country, but they'll do
Yep.
that, and that's it is it's nice and to be surrounded by that. I think.
Yeah.
That's
And actually, it's actually one of my favorite Indian games ever. I keep forcing everyone to play, but people don't know enough Desi songs to win against
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
So I love
I've
it. I
tried
love it.
playing.
I'm
I
bad.
don't know enough Desi songs. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. You'll get there. Well, you
hmm
can play your music, so
hmm
very good.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
actually don't know the rules, so you can remind me of the rules of this game because now I can honestly try this.
Yes. Yes. So basically, Antakshari, it's well, you can do the intro thing and you don't have to, but the intro is like बैठे बैठे क्या करे करना है कुछ काम शुरू करो अंताक्षरी लेके प्रभु का नाम. It's just a saying. And then usually you start with Ma. Somebody has to start with a song that starts with Ma. When they're in the verse, whatever they're singing, the
hmm
last consonant next person has to start with.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
like telephone, but with
hmm
songs, kind of.
kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
So next time
telephone,
you gotta win.
but veteran level. If you're
Better,
talking about
I
better.
got you. Vinit, how good are you at Antakshari?
I have never played it, man. I think I'd like to think I'd be good at it, but I don't know.
You
Angel
won't win
could
against me.
smother me.
Hmm.
Right. Well, now I take that as a challenge. So now I want to play it when I get back to Pittsburgh. So
So is there
that was my secret.
do you get points for like actual like singing talent, or it's just like remembering songs?
It's just remembering songs. That's why I win.
Okay.
Vinny is actually a very good singer. I am not.
Got you,
If
then
it
got
I
was
you.
based
yeah.
on
Well,
talent, he would win. Well,
it's
you
been a
would
while.
win.
It's been a while.
I
Yeah, yeah. Nova would
I've
definitely
seen
win.
both of you guys on some of your video podcasts on IG, and I just saw you guys both singing and both
Oh
phenomenal
yeah.
singers. Yeah, that was you guys are really good.
Oh, thank you.
I rely entirely on Vinny to maintain the pitch.
Well, I mean, I rely on the song. I rely on the actual singers in the song
I
to
got
pitch. So I mean,
And then I correct
got
Vinny's lyrics mispronunciation.
yeah, my lyrics and pronunciation, like my pronunciation of the
you.
lyrics is what needs work. But I mean, yeah, I've been listening to. I was recently. I've been listening to a lot of not just Bollywood songs, but actually because of what I've learned from Filmi and Desi, I've been really into a lot of Malayali hip hop recently.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
it's a big thing, and I actually introduced it to my family here in Canada. I'm like, yeah, like everyone asks about the show. They're like, yeah, I hear you're doing the show, right? And I'm like, explaining it, and I'm like, when I
Awesome.
mentioned that, like, we could dedicate a whole week to Malayali hip hop, and they're like, oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I'm like,
We
yeah,
definitely can.
the music
Yeah.
industry is pretty big in South India if you actually pay attention
Yes.
to
I
South
was
India.
I would 100% agree, and I think from my limited interactions with like just Indian hip hop, I think it's South India that has this most like edgy, creative energy that I've noticed. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something else. They really
Yeah.
like South India really holds its own, despite
Yeah.
like the fact that it may not get as much press, which is very very
Yeah.
inspiring,
hmm
honestly. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think previously for those that don't, so for those of the listeners that don't know who you are a pretty much a physician. You graduated medical school, and you're in residence here right now. How I'm pretty sure this is like the 100th time you've been asked this, but how the hell did you stay with music as seriously throughout medical school? Like right now, I'm preparing for the MCAT, and I
Oh,
find it
nice.
hard to just like even go to the gym consistently. So I
Yeah.
am very interested in like how you even managed it.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, great. It's a good question, and thanks for gassing up the journey a little bit. Also, congrats to you for starting your pre med journey here. I mean,
Uh,
it sounds like it's just the MCAT, but listen, man, it's a grind, and I feel like just for people who are like going through it, I have a lot of friends who are also studying for the MCAT like you, like right now, and it's really isolating at times. So just like just take pride at like each day and like take a break. Take a
yeah.
break for you. Like if I don't get to say it later on in the show, just like
Thank you, man.
but yeah, man. So I'm in New York right now. I'm a pediatric neurology resident here at Mount Sinai. So pediatric neurology is a 5-year residency. I basically, at the end of medical school, is like, let me just lock myself into this path, which is extra long, but it's the the med the style of medicine in pediatric neurology was the most um, definitely the most captivating for me. So I'm like, this is what I got to sign up for. But right now I'm an intern. That's basically what they call the first year residence. It's a trip. It's one of the hardest years of medicine for almost everybody. Lots of grueling hours and lots of learning and working for the first time in a hospital system. That's kind of just working with other staff and professionals and other doctors. These are these are soft skills that you do not learn as a student, and so um, yeah. Before I get a tangent about that, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and I think any new professional understands how much of a grind it could be like that first year at like a new job. Um, but music for me, man, I'm a late bloomer. I think I did not really grow up like singing or like I didn't grow up like really playing instruments too much. I didn't take any classes. Like I was always drawn towards instruments and just like, mess around. Like if my friends were in piano lessons and they had pianos, so I would go to their houses and just like mess around on piano. And I just liked playing. And then I learned guitar when I was in middle school. Well, learned from YouTube. Just like I was super into metal, like hard metal songs. System of a Down is my favorite band, so I would self teach those songs. And I kind of stuck with guitar and just made some friends who played guitar in high school. But it's just like everything I did was just for fun. And I was in a band in high school. We did a few gigs around Denver, which was really cool. Um, but music got like kind of more serious in medical school. Like in college, I didn't even do that much. But um, in medical school, when the pandemic hit, I was like, I put out a couple songs on Spotify, and the pandemic hit, and I had all these plans for my summer. I was like, gonna be in Philadelphia for the summer, and I met these DJs in Philly, and then I was like, okay, I might do some research over the summer, but like, let me just like hang out with these DJs and just like DJ around the city. It's gonna be awesome. And then the pandemic hit, totally shut down. I was stuck at home in Colorado, and I'm like, okay, I have all this freaking free time. Let me challenge myself to make an album. Obviously, with everything going on in the world, it was a very conscious, lyrical, like mellow hip hop album. I think I was kind of in that headspace at the time. So I put it out once I started my second year in med school, and it was my first time getting like feedback from classmates and like other people that have known me that were like, hey, like I checked this out and like I kind of like this song or these lyrics. Like I like that you mentioned Washington Park. Like I've been there. Like I like how specific you are. I was like, this is cool. Getting that kind of feedback kind of encouraged me more to just keep doing what I was doing, but also push myself to put out more music. And I don't know, man. Just kind of I just hit the ground running. I put out a lot of songs in medical school. I went to this. I worked on a lot of songs in my house. I went to the studio whenever I could. I put out like over 30 songs just in medical school, which I think that sounds like a lot, but I think like my whole thing with music is like I I do my best to like separate my medical career and my musical career so that if people listen to my music, they have no idea that I'm a doctor, and I think that still kind of holds true. And I want my music to be in playlists with other established artists and like kind of hold its own. And that is my goal right now as I continue to work on music. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question about how we manage it all. I think it's about just like it's just time management. I guess it's like with anything, if you put your mind to something, you just have to carve out time. So
Yeah.
on my breaks, I would on my whenever I had a break, whether it's a spring break or winter break or like a weekend, I would just like really work on this stuff. And that's just that's a hobby of mine that I just took really seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's very clear that you're just like equally dedicated to your musical career as much as your medical one. I actually wanted to ask a follow up question because I saw a similarity between you and me. Like the first time I saw you on Instagram was when you still had the name Nava Drops Bars.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, this is a guy that is brown, he's going into medicine, and he's also very invested in the arts. And I was like, I thought I was the only one. Because for a long time, like when I was still an undergrad, deciding like whether I wanted to go into medicine or not, when I was still doing like theater, I was really involved with the film student like organization there at Pitt, and I was just like, I felt like there was a big misunderstanding with some other people where it was like, well, especially like both, mainly on the pre-med side, because a lot of times I would be asked like by people who were like, who have always done nothing but medicine, who are like paramedics, who are like really invested in it, and research. It was this misunderstanding like, well, if you're this invested in the arts, why don't you just do the arts? It doesn't sound like you really want to do medicine. And so I was wondering if you got that same sort of pressure from some people, or like if people got confused by you, whether you were in med school or even before, whether it was like if you had to deal with any misunderstandings from other people, or like some stereotypes of like, oh, well, he's a med student and he does music, well, it's probably not that good, or
Hmm.
like there's no, or the other way where it's like he's so invested in music, he's probably just in med school to please his parents or something like
Hmm.
that. How do you deal with like this stereotyping of like pigeonholing of you and yourself when you really truly are like very invested in, like you said, pediatric neurology, something that, first of all, congratulations, that sounds incredible. But
Thanks.
how do you basically just deal with that, and what do you do to like tell yourself that, look, I am not just one person, and
Yeah.
I love both of these things?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for like sharing a bit of your own journey with this, and I think um, there's a lot of creative people that are in medicine, and you're not the. I think it's important to put out there like you're not the only one that feels like alone in this, and I felt those same things. I'm like I need to find. I know there's other people that probably might be doing this, but it's like it's just so few and far between in medicine. Medicine demands so much out of you in terms of just mental capacity and like lifestyle wise, it really does. And so we don't like people might just get a little burned out and give up those creative pursuits. But I think a part of doing this podcast and for you to like share your part of the journey, and then for me to share is just like I think it's going to encourage people to hear this, and then I think like hold on to these creative pursuits. But yeah, man, pigeonholing is a definitely a big thing, and I've talked about this. I did my first big show in Philly in 2021. It was like a big thing for me. I'm like, this is my first time performing my original music. I want as many friends as possible to come. People came from out of state. I had family come from out of state. I ended up selling out the top floor of this bar. And I was like, you know what? This is like a really big deal for me. So I had a friend who takes video. I was like, can you just record the process and make a documentary out of this? We want to make a documentary out of this whole thing. So it's on YouTube. But one thing I talk about in my documentary was like this whole thing. It's like, and I love it. I love it. I've had those experiences where kids come up to me, like, like little kids or like teenagers, high schoolers, college kids at like a Daisy party, aunties and uncles, and everyone's hanging out, and the kids are doing their thing. But then this high schooler or a college student came up to me once and was like, you know what, man, I saw that you like make rap music, and I'm not gonna lie to you, at first I thought it was gonna be bad, it's just like, I know you're like a med student or whatever, so it's like I just assume it's gonna be bad. And like there's a lot of stereotypes with like SoundCloud artists and things. I think people just like that's just something any artist has to kind of push through, but it's like the biggest compliment. It's the biggest like sense of pride for me when people are like, but then I listen to it and then they're like, I really I like the lyrics that you're saying, like this is actually good, like, and then they follow, put it on a playlist or something, and it's like little conversations like that I think open people's minds. And I think I think ever since I was in high school when I first started like rapping, I think it's just my whole journey has been about like I'm just gonna keep doing the things that I like, and I haven't really thought much about. I didn't think too much about like influencing like others as much because it's already a challenge to just like let me make the time to do what I like. But when I was in high school, I feel like I opened up my family's minds to like performing music, and like they saw me live. They didn't listen to rap or anything like that, but my family would come to my shows, and I think just opening up my family's mind at first, and then yeah, other people in the community, like just little by little, as they hear kind of the things that I've been up to, it just opens people's minds. There's definitely it's definitely I haven't it's not necessarily pushback, but people wouldn't really necessarily understand it. I think, in my experience, hip hop itself is kind of a newer it's a newer kind of style of music, and the way that it started in the 90s is just so much different than what it is now. Hip hop is a very, very expansive genre with a million subgenres. So, as I navigate hip hop and I try to talk about the things that I do, especially with older people, there's like a bias about, like, when they were younger, they heard a style of hip hop, and then I tell them I rap, and then in medicine, when I try to explain, like, oh yeah, I use the arts to connect with kids, and it's had a very therapeutic effect, and they're like, oh, what kind of music do you play? I'm like, I'm a rapper. I write. I help them with lyrics. I think a lot of people's minds get shut down as soon as you say that, right? And it's interesting. It's an uphill battle, especially in medicine, but uh, I think that times, people are adjusting, and as I put my songs out there and I make more content, I think really geared toward this conversation. Um, I think it'll be fun to see how people receive that.
That's amazing. So you were just talking about, well, you were both talking about how it can be a little bit lonely pursuing the creative arts within this place. But as an artist, you been able to find community, especially in Philly, that you've been able to work with, collaborate with, learn from things like that? Like, are there artists that are in the indie scene like you in
Mhm.
Philly that you work with frequently? I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like when you're an indie artist, you just like you have to learn how to like collaborate, and I think because that's like the only way to get things done sometimes. Because I can't always just hire someone to just do like take a photo shoot or like draw. So for me, I was very grateful to be at. I'm very grateful that I had my experience at Jefferson in downtown Philly, because I felt that the program, the medical student program, kind of a little bit more arts incorporated than other
Mhm.
medical schools. So we had a whole curriculum of like arts electives. I took a poetry class. I took a playwriting class as a med student, which was phenomenal. It was my one of my favorite classes I've ever taken. Just like writing out a monologue or like a play or something like that. But I noticed there was creative people all around me. There was a phenomenal student who I noticed on his Instagram, very beautiful photographer, very aesthetic, just had a clear eye. So yeah, within the first year, I definitely knew this was somebody I would like to collaborate with. And then, yeah, for my album art, we collaborated on a photo, which is one of my favorite photos. My second EP that I dropped was Phase One Benji tapes, and it's a photo of one of our med school like a locker room with my white coat. It's kind of just like more of like a symbolic piece. The white coat sitting there. I had my gold chain hanging out of the white coat pocket, and it's all this kind of like, and like we just casually did that, and I think that was a great example of collaborating with like a photographer. Um, there's a good friend of mine from college who helped me with so much of my like initial album art, like the pink Chasing Magnolias cover with like a more like traditional like Chinese writing on it. Like she drew that, and like we like worked on that over the process over a couple months. Um, yeah, it's like I feel like when you have creative friends, you have to just like I like to say I'm not afraid of like reaching out and like forming those, like you gotta be able to just like jump on those opportunities when you find out you have creative friends, because people are like excited about their craft, so just to work together and be involved in something can be really exciting. um, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned you were. I noticed like obviously there's this big focus on like wanting the collaborative nature of your style and like the way you produce music. I did notice so. between your first and second albums. So your first album released in 2020, Chasing Magnolias, which was very hip hop heavy, to now your new album, which was recently released this year, Wonderlust Project, which is more of like indie alt rock style.
Yeah.
Um, I remember it was you had mentioned that after you moved to Boston for a year for school, this change in scenery kind of pushed you to explore a new sound, the indie sound. And so like you used that new change in scenery to kind of merge this catchy guitar driven style with the hard hitting lyrics that you're so used to producing or crafting in your hip hop style.
Hmm.
So do you think that change in scenery was like part of that was the people you were around and like who you wanted to collaborate with?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. When I moved to Boston, I felt a clear distinction in the musical energy. Philly is just so hip hop heavy everywhere you go. Boston, it definitely had more of a, yeah, more of a naturey, like just some more aesthetic and more like live music, live instrumentation oriented scene that I was able to explore. There is a hip hop scene in Boston. I just wasn't there long enough to truly find those like pockets. Um, so yeah, I think once I got to Boston, I started just like naturally writing more like indie and acoustic songs. The first song I wrote on Wonderlust Project was Highs and Lows, and that's a folk song. And one of the few songs I've like totally self-produced and like self-wrote the instruments to, like the guitar and everything. That one was fun because the I was at the public health school for a year, like Harvard Public Health School, but it was down the street from UC, or not UC, from the Berklee College of Music. And so I knew that like the energy I was gravitating towards was like these music college students were like had their own like little scene over there. So then I became friendly with a couple students, and I went to their dorm room to just record highs and lows, and I did a few sessions there. Um, and yeah, and that's cool, and that's like I don't think any of like that song is probably not possible if I wasn't like literally in that area, in that scene with like the access to like this kinds of like different kind of creative energy. Yeah, and Boston's art scene is very strong too. Like especially like the art museums there are some of my favorite I've ever experienced, and like it was cool, and it's like you feel inspired. Like when you step out of your comfort zone, go to a new place, and you just like immerse yourself in like a different artistic scene. I think that's what prompted me to like push myself musically too.
Yeah, that's really incredible to hear. I did want to follow up a little bit, because I know on Instagram you talk a lot about what it's like to be an independent artist and
Hmm.
um, how other people can do the same. Like, there's a lot of things that you don't expect that you need to be prepared for as an independent artist, especially as you were saying, doing a lot of it yourself and
Oh
relying
yeah.
a lot on other artists and collaboration. So I just wanted to ask you about like how strong do you strongly, sorry, how strongly do you feel about, being an independent artist? You really seem to ground yourself in that, and that's like a perspective that you really bring into your music. And I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think every artist, every independent artist would love to have more resources. You know, it's
Hmm.
like I think that's like the big I think that is the big draw of getting like signed to like some kind of small like label, or I don't know. I don't know about a big label, but I think resources would be great. I think that's like that's something I think about. But when you don't have that, and also I am in a unique situation with my music because kind of have like monetarily like a career kind of all clearly like set. So everything I do in music to me is kind of it's 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 like I can do with it like like whatever I want, you know? Like I don't luckily I don't feel like pressure to produce music in a certain way that I like have to steer it in a way that I can like make money from it. So it is nice to just have free reign, open creative energy. but that means like the more seriously I take it, I have to just like learn more things about like the dimensions of being an artist. I think when I first started, I just wrote songs and I did it for fun, and that's all I did. And every once in a while, I put it out. But then as I put out more music, I think I wanted to take my music more seriously, and I want more people to hear it because I think there's people that could really enjoy my music. Um, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably my own biggest fan. Like I take a lot of pride in my music, like, and I just it's so fun for me, and I think to push yourself and expand your audience and things like that, that opens up a whole door of what it means to be an indie artist, like marketing and content and doing interviews, and trying to get like on some blogs. Like that takes extra effort too. I do think in medicine, I have met other musicians, but that's kind of the line that's drawn for most people. It's like, you like being creative, but to push yourself in all those other ways, it's not necessarily for everyone. Um, but I like it, and I have the energy right now to do it. So that's kind of my mentality for it.
Yeah, man. It's great that, and it's really, if I may say, it's really inspiring to see you really being willing to push yourself, despite all the energy that being in medicine can kind of drain from you. The fact that like you still have this much of a fire to really still push yourself that extra mile, to really establish yourself as an artist, to really take pride in your work. I think that is something that needs to be trained like a muscle. I mean, I'm sure like you definitely faced some highs and lows,
Hmm.
but that's great because I know that especially when you said like that's usually where it stops, where it's like they're in music, like people in medicine are in music. I remember when I would, especially during COVID, I would sing for my family every Friday because I was like, I just have to sing
Oh,
for.
awesome! That's great, man.
Um, and oh yeah, it was a
I
very
love that.
interesting time. But I would remember, like, especially when we had family visiting, how I would really, because that was also around that time where I was considering like I would actually really like to do something in music or the arts in general. And I was so used to hearing how like other relatives were like, yeah, no, I could totally see you go further in that, and then I think one of my parents
Hmm.
specifically was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a hobby. It's a hobby. Yeah, yeah, it's a hobby.
Oh
Yeah,
man, of
yeah,
course,
it's a
of
hobby.
course.
It's a
Yeah,
hobby.
yeah.
But that's amazing, and it's really. And I switching gears a little bit to your new
And
album, Wonderland.
before, like, real quick, I get
Oh
that
yeah.
too, man. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
my parents have seen me push the boundaries of like what I do for my music and like the shows. Like, they've seen it, but they'll still like my dad especially will be like, hey, like, he's definitely on that sphere. Like, it's
It
like
is
a
also.
hobby. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, we
It's
all get
also
that.
my dad. My dad is the exact same.
Yeah.
That's great, man. No, it's great to have that see the similarities and like that. It's just like it's not just one
No,
person.
man. It's
I agree with that. Um,
it's like I feel like it is those voices at the end of the day though are helpful too. Like they'll give some motivation, but also it'll always keep you grounded and force you to rethink your approach to like what you're trying to do. Like you know, so I will say that.
yeah, for sure. I did want to touch on the album, the new album, Wonderlust.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So, of course. So, I mean, starting with the title, Wonderlust, is that a play on? I know that there's the word Wanderlust, where it's like someone that loves to wander, explore new things, but changed to
Yeah.
Wonderlust. So, what kind of inspired you to really craft that name? What are you wondering about? What are you lusting
Yeah.
for?
Yeah, I think the idea of wanderlust is like really cool. I think like wanderlust, like longing for exploration and new places, is I think very natural, and most people I think will feel that. Wanderlust to me means like expanding your mind a little bit, not being afraid to explore new ideas or um, like converse with people like different from yourself and expand your perspective. For me, also like just musically, like shifting from hip hop into indie music is just like it is like a mind shift. Totally, it totally is a mind shift. Like musically, like I have to prioritize different things in my song structure. Um, I just like tonality and things. Like it was just so that's why I think the album just represents, yeah, it represents like exploration. And so I think that's where the title came from. Hmm.
Yeah, did it also have the involvement? I mean, it seems like it also you exploring a new genre with this album,
Yeah,
Wanderlust Project. I think that really speaks to just the entirety of the album. I
yeah,
did. There was one
definitely.
song. There was one song that I was really interested in. A couple of lines from one song that if you allow me to kind of
Oh, for
quote, I would
sure.
ask you
This
about.
is this is the first time people ask me about my lines. Like I just been itching to talk about it. Yeah.
No, because it was these few lines where I was like, is there a deeper story? So, and this is in the middle of the around the middle of the song. First of all, people listening to this who haven't listened to the song or the album yet, please go listen to it first, and then come back to
Mhm.
this episode.
Yes,
But with
absolutely.
Are You Listening? The title of the song.
Oh yeah.
In the middle, there are these couple lines that I would really like to pick your mind about. So, this is a couple lines. So, I switched up the genres. They're wondering how I switched it too soon. When you're gone making movies, every time I make songs, so I keep dreaming of you. Was there so the whole song I was wondering like was this about like someone you were seeing and like you two were going in different directions? Was this like a filmmaker that you were seeing, or was this more of like a thought, of just like a thought?
Oh my gosh. I think I I love that. I've always tried hard to not spill like tea or anything, but a lot of my lines are like anytime I like have muses in my music, it's usually a mixture of people that I've come across, real like people I've come across, but also there's like at the end of the day, my songs are stories, so it's not like always like 100% these like things that have happened to me, but more like I want to evoke like a scene in your head when you listen to the lyrics. But um, switched up the genres. Wonder if I switched it too soon. I mean, hey man, I have started making my indie music, and some of my best friends pulled up to me. It's like, nah, bro, cut this. We want that rap. Right? We want bars, bro. We want bars. Like when you switch up genres, you're gonna have those people like, and I'm like, can you just like let me do my thing for a second? These are my biggest fans too. They're like, we just want some bars. So I think that's the first line, which I had to comment on. No, yeah, I don't. I wouldn't say I was seeing any filmmakers, but I think that line probably stems from like I'm also fascinated by movies. I mean, I got that AMC premiere. You know, shout out to AMC, like $25 a month. Highly recommend. I think that there's a big parallel between movies and music. And man, I think I don't know. I think not necessarily like seeing like a filmmaker girl or anything, but yo, man, sometimes you're really into someone, you're longing for someone. They got other things going on. They may disappear. They may go off and do their thing. Maybe they're off watching a movie. Maybe they're off making a movie. I've seen really creative and artsy people that do their thing, and I think about like the filmmaking process. But while these girls or whoever you're thinking about, friends, are doing their thing, you know, you could be I could be a dreamer boy. Like I'm thinking about them. You know, like I'm thinking about them. Like they're still lurking in my mind, and I think that's kind of where that line came from. Just blending the two worlds for me,
It's
if
really
that makes sense.
interesting.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I don't know if that was the answer you were looking for, but
I
yeah.
mean, that sounds like that was the point of Wonderlust. I mean, like it was a bunch of different things, but they all had a real basis in the lyrics, and I think it leaves good interpretation. Like that's how I took it, right? Like I was very involved in film, and I'm in that.
Mm-hmm.
God, what was the Eric Erickson's stage right now? Intimacy versus isolation part of my life right now as well.
All right.
That
Sure,
one
sure.
fact that you need to
Vinny,
know.
don't drag your materials into this.
You, you, we
This is a
spilled the
therapy
tea. We're
session
getting
now.
real, man.
But that's how I took it. I feel like it was definitely like I think there was a reason for that as well, where it's like
100%, man.
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I think like um when I wrote that song, I mean, I was in a very like stable like long-term relationship, but I'm still writing these lyrics. I think there's always a sense of like there's a sense of nostalgia and like longing across the whole album. Um and I even when I'm even in my aside from my personal life, I feel like I'm not afraid. I'm definitely not afraid to write things out, like whatever I feel. And lately, I've taken less care. Like I've cared a little less about even putting those, like just being less afraid about putting those things out. Because it's like, if you write what you feel, like, just be honest. So I think that's no, that's good. And then the next couple lines after that, I make a few like actor and movie references. So I was going for a little theme, and that's in the songwriting as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you bring up films because so fun fact, I'm a film student.
There you
Uh,
go. I knew it.
I'm not a filmmaker. I make video essays, but that's about
Oh,
it. I'm not a
awesome.
filmmaker. I'm a film critical studies student. I actually do research in Bollywood.
Oh, wow. You're
Yeah,
about to
I had
tear
to.
apart all my any video I've done. You're just gonna tear apart visually.
No, no. I don't tear apart. The only things I tear apart are things Vinit likes. That's because I will compete with
Well,
Vinit on every stage.
what
I
if
love
I
it.
like Nava's music videos? Checkmate.
That
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I like Nava first, so you're good.
Okay, cool,
No,
cool.
actually didn't. Vinit introduced me to you.
Fire, fire.
I was like, yo,
But
you gotta see this guy. We're like twins. That's it was a whole thing.
I
yeah,
love that.
It was a whole
that's exactly what happened because we were on the radio show one day. I don't
Mhm.
remember what episode it was, but this was like before our 20th episode. So this was like a couple of months back. And
Yeah,
we were sitting there during our break, singing along, me badly, him well, to some Bollywood song. And he
yeah.
was like, oh my God, Nava Drops texted me. And I was like, wait, slow down? Who? What?
Fire.
Tell me everything. And he's just
Oh
like
yeah.
freaking out for the next 10 minutes,
Oh
telling
man,
me your entire life story.
Don't
that's funny.
expose my fangirliness to the guy we're interviewing, Angel. That's like the number one rule.
Oh man, I love
No,
that.
no, I'm going to expose him because Vineet is one of your biggest fans that
Well,
I've ever seen.
that means a lot, man. And there's a lot of just Desi students who are going along this science track, and like, hey man, like it's like dude, it's a real bonding experience for all of us. Okay,
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
creative and like talk about these things. So
Honestly. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, I did. So, speaking of like other stuff besides our main, your main creative endeavors as well, I did notice something really cool on your website. There's a link to the Denver Nuggets.
oh
Um,
yes sir, the basketball emoji.
yes. So
Super subtle, no text. Hell yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I assume that you're a big Nuggets fan, being from
Oh bro,
Colorado and everything. How do
man,
you?
you get me excited, bro. One sec. Hold on, man. I
We're getting a merch tour.
gotta get my
Merch tour.
shit. I gotta see where I put that. Where's my Jokic jersey at?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, it's like a whole outfit because with this hoodie, it looks really
Yeah.
cool. But
I mean, he's
Hmm.
a reigning MVP. You really should have some merch.
I do. I can't find it right now, but I am a guy. It's on my Instagram too. Like it's a part of like that's probably the third dimension to my life is diehard Denver Nuggets fan. So I went to a finals game, like the the second game before they won. I went to that game. Um, yeah. I grew up in Denver. I mean, I followed them a little bit when I was little, but then in college and stuff, I really got into it. So yeah, now they're the and I'm having the time of my life. And people see a different side of me when it comes to the Nuggets too. I go on rants. I start talking about like they're just like us, the chip on their shoulder. Like they are the people, like the Denver Nuggets. And then once they tasted the Rock, once they tasted the stardom, I'm like, well now it's like we got to see. We got to see how people respond. Like character is made once you reach success like that. So yeah.
Yeah. We liked them before they were big, by the way.
Yeah. No, I mean definitely.
That's me
People,
talking about artists.
yes.
That was her talking about Hanuman Kind, actually.
Oh man, this
I
guy.
I
You were
will
on here
never
before?
shut up. Yeah, so okay. Let me
That's
give
sick.
you. So Hanuman Kind is actually Malayali. He's from where I'm from.
Yeah, I saw.
But he
Yeah.
grew up in Texas, Houston.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he has the American accent. And then he came back around when he was 10 or 12 and he started making music. So he's actually been big in the scene in
Yeah.
Kerala. He did music for
Mm-hmm.
several Kannada movies, Tamil artists, like collaborations with Tamil artists. He was even on Avesham. So if you're a South Indian like film fan, Avesham has been one of the major movies of the year. Like it's one of the like the four biggest movies of
Oh,
Malayalam cinema
nice.
this year.
Yeah.
And he literally has a song on it. It's like it's amazing. It's iconic.
Yeah.
And the number of people, if I post anything about Hanuman Khan, there will be at least three people. Three men will comment, be like, "Oh, you like him now? You didn't
Freaking
talk
man.
about him before." And I'm like, guys, I started this account this year. When else was I gonna
Yeah.
talk about him?
Yeah.
This account was
Haters.
created in like
Yeah.
May.
I
When
believe
was
it.
I gonna talk about it?
No, you know the
But
history. Yeah.
I do. He's one
Yeah.
of the leading people in the Malu hip hop scene, so
So
I've
you're
loved
like,
him.
would you say you saw this coming?
Ooh, I do think I saw Hanuman Khan because he was signed to Def Jam India
Mm-hmm.
even like for a while, like before his first EP even dropped, and he was working with one of the best producers in like South Indian hip hop, which is Parimal Shayas, and
Yeah.
he has an American accent, so he already has that like gateway for him to have like
International
people
appeal.
like him. Yeah, international appeal, exactly. So I thought that he would be. I didn't expect this much fame this quickly to come his way, which I'm
Yeah.
very happy about. He seems to be
Yeah.
enjoying it. Love that for him.
Yeah.
But I think if anyone was gonna get famous from the Malu hip hop scene, it would have been him.
Yeah. I will admit, when I first saw the video, well, I mean, as a hip hop artist originally, like we're all a
Mhm.
little competitive. So
Yes.
once like seven of my brown friends start sending me a video, I'm gonna be like, I don't even like come on, like I don't even care that much. I'm like, come on.
Mhm.
And then but then I heard the music. I
Mhm.
heard the song, and at first I did not know the history. So I'm like, please don't
Mm.
tell me this is like an Indian rapper putting on an American accent. I was like, okay, that's
Oh.
like not
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like
Yeah.
that's really like I've seen a lot of Desi rappers like do that. I'm like it's but
Mhm.
then I read that he did an interview with Rolling Stone where he talked about all that history. Like I grew up in Houston and this and that. I was like, okay. This guy's like totally like legit. And then obviously I listened to the song and I was like, okay. And to be I mean, no hate to Nav. He shares the first three letters, but like for the whole part of my initial career, they'd be like Nava, like Nav, like there's already a Nav. Like you're trying to be like, I'm like, bro. Honestly, I like them, but we're not the same kind of like artists. So
Mhm.
I'm excited that Hanuman Kind has become like this legitimate legitimate international like face, and he's like brown. Like it's it's very very cool and he's got bars on that song. Like, this is important. It's important to have
Mhm.
like actual like references and like bars on a song.
Yeah.
So
Hanuman Khan drops bars.
what a guy! What a guy! All right, we're gonna
Dude.
get him. We're gonna get him on this show next.
Oh, dude, if we had Hanuman Khan
One
on this show,
day.
We got you,
I would
bro.
One
explode.
day. One day we'll be famous enough to have
We
that.
got it.
We
I
have
ain't
been
tripping.
talking to a lot of indie artists in India and working with them. Not
Oh,
just
sweet.
indie artists too. We've recently had the opportunity to work with Dhruv Ganekar, which was really
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
And it's been really fun. And we're actually having an indie singer
Kashmir
from
Kaur.
Maharashtra over. Yeah,
Kashmir.
Kashmira
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
over next week. So she's in Pennsylvania briefly. So we're taking the opportunity
Oh,
to
cool.
hang out with her.
Heck yeah.
And I also wanted to know, Nava, do you have any ideas yet of what directions you might go in the future? Are you going to keep with the indie sound? Are you going to expand on it? Are you going to combine your previous
Oh man.
sound?
Yeah. So I was actually it's a good question. I haven't once I started residency. I it was very hard to feel the creative spark, but just this weekend, just yesterday, I actually wrote and recorded new material for the first time in a while. it's OG like it's OG hip hop. It's my
Mm-hmm.
OG like if you listen to old Nava Drops bars, it's more along that strain where there's stuff that I've been like seeing, especially hospital wise, and like things that people go through that no one talks about. So it's like it's gonna be like 90 seconds or 2 minutes of like just me like just just spitting the cold facts about what people go through, kind of
Mm-hmm.
emotionally. I think in the hospital. I think that's I think hip hop for me will always be like rap will be my medium of just like straight communication, like straight up communication, because I think that's fun to just like. So I'm excited about that. I have a little demo I can share with you guys like whenever whenever you want. You guys can give me your thoughts on it. But
We would be honored.
Yeah, like
yeah,
yes,
I could.
absolutely.
I don't know if you guys could. We could. I could share it. Do we do audio like sharing on this
Yeah,
app?
I think
you
so.
can, yes. You can
Okay, let me
also
see if I
like
can do that.
upload media.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to get your guys' thoughts on it. I mean,
Oh, that would
Sure.
be awesome.
super like it's like I just recorded it on my phone on BandLab, which is an app that
Ah.
I usually record on my computer on FL Studio, but
Mm-hmm.
BandLab is like so convenient. So I was like, let me just do
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, let me see if I can share that. But I think I
Mm-hmm.
want to keep exploring indie, but New York is a very hip hop city as well. So I think that's why
Yeah.
I am like I think I'm environment dependent, for better or worse.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see what New York is going to bring out in your music.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah, it
next
might
level stuff.
it might be kind of crazy. I'm trying to see. I'm
And
on
come
my.
visit Pittsburgh so we can hear what you're like in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
Oh
dude,
yeah,
we'll
I will.
definitely help promote you in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I would love if I'm there for like we if I plan something, I'd love to do like I'd love to do some kind of like small like performance or show or something. I don't know if there's
Mm-hmm.
venues there that are like super like just open to like people playing or whatever.
Pretty sure Fall Fest like is it could be a good venue as well. Like we hold Fall
Mm-hmm.
Fest at Pitt, um,
Mm.
where we like invite artists
Oh,
just to
sweet.
like perform. So
Oh,
like,
nice. That'd be
no
fun.
shortage of venues here.
Sweet. I think the iPhone app version doesn't have as many buttons as the computer version.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
Even
don't
the
know.
iPad version doesn't.
Yeah. So I don't know if I could share the song here, but
Mm,
yeah, I don't know.
let me see.
But if I can't send it to if we can't do it live, then I'll just send
Mm-hmm.
you guys what I came up with. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell me your thoughts.
Yes, we'd
Uh,
be honored.
Yeah.
Beneath may appreciate because this is that you're gonna go through, man. So I kind of joke around with pre meds. I'm like, yo, like you don't need to do this. Like, I'm just like I kind of that's just oh sorry hold on hello
Yeah.
whoops hello
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
oh, okay cool oh okay sorry I just had to readjust my one sec. This is tough. Okay, that's better. Okay, hold on. So many technical difficulties with this.
No, you're good, man.
Actually, I'm just gonna hold it like this. Um, yeah, I think when you start residency, you get like jaded real fast because you're just working so much. So I think, but when people ask like, would you pick a different job or have you thought about doing any different job? The answer is always like no. So if that's who you are, then you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been awesome talking with you guys.
Yeah,
I
dude.
also
Thank you
wanted
so
to
much.
ask one more
Yeah.
thing. Small thing. Are you
Oh yeah,
planning
yeah.
on working
I'm
with
chilling.
any Desi indie artists in the future?
Oh man, I'm working on it. This is New York is also. I didn't know this before I visited recently. Dude, there's like a whole community of just like Desi artists, and they have a
Yeah.
scene here. Like
Yep.
there's DJs and shows, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's really cool. I'm really excited to meet people and just. I'll probably take it slow. I'm just gonna go to events and I just want to meet people before and just see like who's like see where people are at with collabing. But yeah, I know there's a lot of opportunity here and super unique because even in other cities I've been in, like in Denver or Philly, like I haven't been in a space. I went to a conference once. It's like the you guys know like Brown, it's a Brown Girl mag. You
Brown
guys
Girl
Oh,
front
yeah.
Mag.
page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they put on a conference just for Desi musicians and entrepreneurs and influencers. So I went to one a couple years ago. It's so
Awesome.
it was so refreshing to just be in like a space like entirely just like owned by Desi like artists. Like I've never experienced that before. So
Ah, that's
yeah,
amazing. I do want to let
you
you
guys
know,
got to come to.
Kashmira.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, Kashmira's currently in New York, so if you want to hit her up, talk about
oh yeah,
music. She's really into the indie scene in India, so
cool.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll take your word on that. I'll DM her. I'll be like DJ Apsara sent me.
The
DJ
funniest thing
Apsara.
is, I didn't actually want to use my name as DJ Upstart because I'm not a DJ. I'm not good at mixing music. I
Yes, you
wanted to
are.
use
Uh-oh.
RJ, but the radio station that I am at, they were like, "Well, we all say DJ because the context of it is that you would have spinned a disc if you were back in the day." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm an
Yes,
RJ. I'm not a DJ.
I
I don't
got
know how
you.
to mix music."
I think yeah,
DJ
I think
Apsara.
Angel got requests. They're like, "Hey, like, are you able to DJ like my graduation party or something?" And Angel's
Hell
like, "No,
yeah.
you don't understand. No."
Don't do
DJ,
music.
you got it. DJ is not as you could do it. If you have a good ear for
Thank you.
music, you just pick the tracks, you pick the cue, that's all you gotta do.
Pretty
I
much,
Yeah.
yeah.
think I'm good at finding music that goes together, and I'm good at analyzing music because of my film critical studies background, but I can't actually mix any music yet.
Mm. You
Yet.
know who
What?
else? You know who else had a similar kind of start to you was DJ Khaled, and now look at him. I don't know if I don't, look at him. I don't know if he DJ'd in his life. I don't think he DJ'd in his life. Look at this guy. So
Guys, I'm gonna
Now
be on the
look how
next
far he's
Nava
gone.
I'm gonna be on the next
yeah,
Nava Drops song saying another one.
yes.
Wait
I think
up,
that's
next
funny.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, indie artists
DJ
just invite
Apsara.
me to use my voice, guys. I'm a future
I
icon.
think I think I haven't seen that happen in Desi artist tracks especially too. So
Mhm.
maybe you could have a little side gig just sending your voice
Yeah.
over to musicians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
If you're
we could
ever in
use a
Pittsburgh,
side.
also, please come on our show.
Oh,
Yes,
100%.
please do.
You guys are so real quick. Tell me about the show and like the station that you guys are at. You mentioned
Yeah.
at the beginning like this is a part of you guys doing this as a part of a program or
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So, Filmi and Desi is my radio show on WPTS radio. So, WPTS is Pitt's student-run radio network. So, I just did my DJ training and then I go on there, and every week I host a 2 hour show where I play Desi music. We played Bollywood, we played Malu hip hop, we played Kuttu music, we played indie artists in America, indie artists in India.
Yeah.
I love really focusing on diaspora, especially
Yeah.
in my shows, and we talk about Desi lore, we talk about Bollywood history and drama, and it's every week something new. This week's episode, it's going to be in a couple of hours, in 4 hours. It's
Yes.
going to be about Item Girls, so we're going to be discussing Item Girls starting in the 80s, the vamp of Bombay cinema,
Okay.
so things like that. So my
I
film
love
critical
that.
studies mind comes into it.
That's awesome. That's so cool that you have like your own platform and space to just like do that. That's really fun.
Yeah. I will be
Yeah.
graduating in December, so officially I'll have to hand over my show or cancel it, and then I can host it every summer, but I can't
Hmm.
host it during the normal year, so I might have to hand off it to someone.
Yeah.
And I have a few DJs in training.
I feel that. And Vinith, did you graduate or you're still in school?
Yeah, so I graduated this past May, so that's why like now
Oh,
it's
nice.
really just putting my med
Congrats.
school application together. Thank you. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
like
man.
I shadow a surgeon this coming Friday. The day before, I'm taking a practice test.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
just studying all the time, and it's just like until like after I'm just waiting until May when I submit my application in AppCast, and I'm like, I can breathe again for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a busy time, man. I think definitely whether you need to schedule it or not, like have those days off to just like not think about science. I would
Yeah.
highly recommend. If
Yeah.
I don't know if you're into sports or fitness or whatever, but like I swear, like those days when you just like take a day and like go to the gym or like yeah, it's important, man.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll definitely
Vinny's
be.
days off is just me bullying him.
My days
Uh,
off for the radio show and the podcast or
And me
Canadian
bullying him.
Thanksgiving. And well, that's a 24/7 thing, Angel. Regardless of
Beautiful,
whether.
beautiful.
Exactly. But yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you
Pretty
so much.
sweet.
Okay, I'll stop
Yeah.
recording. Thank you so much for being on the show.